Am I the a-hole for telling my MIL that I don't want her here because my baby hates her? 26F I've been with my husband since we were 14 and we just had a baby 10 months ago. I have always gotten along with my MIL. She's a very sweet woman who would literally take the shirt off her back to make sure I am okay. I love this woman tremendously. But for whatever reason, every single time she has come over to see the baby, my daughter screams bloody murder the entire time she's here. She doesn't do this with anyone else, but literally the second my MIL walks through the door and my daughter sees her, she is in my ear screaming, hyperventilating and inconsolable. It's literally been like this since she was born. My MIL first visited when she was 4 days old and it was the same thing then. We have never been super cautious about having people over to see our daughter, but like I said, she's not like that with anyone else. Like, some people she doesn't want touching her but she never cries. My MIL is just the polar opposite. She has been able to successfully hold her once without her screaming, but it was when she was holding her face away from her and my husband was entertaining her to keep her distracted. My MIL comes over once a week and honestly, I've just started completely dreading her coming here at all because I'm not kidding, my daughter screams the entire time and sometimes my MIL doesn't leave for a couple of hours. It's not fun for anyone involved. Well, she came here yesterday and my husband is starting to get irritated by the fact that our daughter refuses to warm up to his mother because she's been a huge part of our lives. So he suggested that she start coming here more often than she already does now to basically attempt to force the bond. I personally know it doesn't work like that. I mean, if the bond was going to happen right now, it would have already. She simply does not like my MIL. I thought maybe it was the perfume my MIL wore so she stopped wearing perfume, but that did nothing. I told her to not wear her jewelry to see if that helped, but again, that did nothing. I've even had her put her hair up, thinking maybe my daughter was getting overwhelmed with not being able to see her face completely and that actually made it worse. I've told her to stop baby talking her, because she has a very high-pitched baby talk voice, but her normal voice didn't calm the baby down either. And honestly, I'm exhausted and fed up with trying. I don't think we should try. I think we need to let it go and let it form naturally. She will warm up to her eventually, in her own time. But my husband is basically just not okay with it, all because my mom came here to see us for the first time last month. She lives in UK and traveling is hard to US for her, and our daughter immediately loved her and didn't want her to set her down. So my husband felt slighted about it, and as I said he wants his mom to come here more. Well, usually I don't mind when my MIL stops by, but she came by unannounced this morning at 8:30 a.m. and I mean, I had just woken up with the baby. She had a long night, teething, so I'm talking like 3 hours of sleep. She comes in and says that my husband told her to come over and hang out for the day. She said she cleared her entire schedule to be here. I just kind of shook my head and said, I really don't want to deal with the baby screaming all day long. I wish you guys had run this by me. You know I love having you here, but this whole, let's force a bond, bullshit is dragging me mentally. You guys should have asked me. She looked hurt and said, it's okay sweetie, I can go, and she left a few minutes later. But now my husband is mad at me, insisting that this would have worked.